أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ما كان للمشركين أن يعمروا مساجد الله شاهدين على أنفسهم بالكفر أولئك حبطت أعمالهم وفي النار هم خالدون. In this verse, Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala mentioned that it is not appropriate for the mushrikeen, for the kuffar, أن يعمروا مساجد الله, that they attend to the masajid of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Attending over here means that they care for the masajid of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. The masjid that is referred to in this verse of the Quran Sharif refers to the haram of Makkatul Mukarramah. But Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala did not mention it in the plural, in the singular. That is masjid. But Allah Ta'ala said masajid Allah. Allah used the plural for the many masajid of Allah. One reason that the Mufassirin and the commentators give that Makkah Sharif, this is actually the Qibla of all the masjids of the world. That is why it is referred to as Masajid Allah, the Masajid of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And the second reason the commentators give, that when the Arabs they used to speak, many a time they would use the plural, but what they would mean the singular. So Allah Ta'ala says that it is not appropriate for the mushrikeen that they care, they attend to the Masajid of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. So what is actually meant by attending, caring for the masajid of Allah? One meaning to this is that the mushrikeen, they must not build the masajid of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. The second meaning to this is that they must not care for the masajid of Allah. What the mutawallis of the masjid do, the caring of the masjid, the cleaning of the masjid, lights, water, all that, they mustn't care for all that. They mustn't take up this responsibility. It is not appropriate for them because they are mushrikeen, because they are kuffar. A third meaning of ya'muru, the word umrah also comes from this very same root letters. Umrah actually means that a person, he visits the house of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, and in the house of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, he will make the ibadat of Allah. So here it means that the mushrikeen, they mustn't come to the houses of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala and make the ibadat or the ibadat of Allah Ta'ala in the houses of Allah. Shahidina ala anfusihim bil kufr. Why they are testifying against themselves with kufr, that we are kuffar, we are disbelievers. So for them they must stay away from all this. Why? Ulaika habitat a'maluhum wa fin narihum khalidun. Their actions are null and void for whatever good they're going to do. They're not going to get any reward in the court of Allah Ta'ala tomorrow on the day of Qiyamah. A mu'min that does all this work, for him is reward in the court of Allah. He's doing it for Allah Ta'ala. But for these kuffar, their a'mal are null and void. They are wiped out. And they will be in the fire of Jahannam forever. Under this verse of the Quran Sharif, the fuqaha, the jurists, they have taken out masail of deen. One masla that they've extracted from here is that is it permissible for a kafir now to build the houses of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala? If a kafir has to construct the masjid, we give over the contract to a kafir company. Can they construct the house of Allah? So the fuqaha say that it is permissible. There's no problem. That a kafir can construct the house of Allah. Another masla that they take out over here is that what if there's a kafir living in the locality? We're building a masjid, some kuffar, they are sincere also. So when we're building a masjid, they come forward and they say, we also want to donate to the house of Allah. Can we take their donation, or is it not permissible to take their donation? So under this verse of the Quran Sharif, the fuqaha have taken out this masla as well. And they say that if the kafir is sincere, there's no fear of any harm in the future, either of dunya or either of deen, then it is permissible to take their donation. But if they have an ulterior motive, later on they also want to have their say, or later on they're going to cause some dunyawi harm, worldly harm, or some deeni harm to us, then don't accept their donation as well. Further, Allah Ta'ala says, who should become the mutawallis and who should care for the houses of Allah? إِنَّمَا يَعْمُرُ مَسَاجِدَ اللَّهِ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ وَالْيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ. Only those people should care, should attend to the houses of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala, who believe in Allah and the last day. Meaning they have total iman. وَأَقَامَ الصَّلَاةِ. A mutawalli, he must perform his salah. 5 times salah a day he must be performing in the masjid. وَآتَ الزَّكَاةِ. He must discharge his zakah. وَلَمْ يَخْشَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ. And he will not fear except Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. Meaning he must have the quality of taqwa. That person can become the mutawalli of the masjid. His dressing must be in according to sunnah, beard, etc. If all these qualities are in order, he qualifies to become the mutawalli and the caretaker of the masjid. Allah Ta'ala says, فَعَسَىٰ أُولَٰئِكَ أَن يَكُونُوا مِنَ الْمُهْتَدِينَ. It is expected that these people, they will be from amongst the rightly guided people. Meaning those people that have all these qualities, they bring iman upon Allah, they establish salah, they discharge their zakah, and they fear Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. These are the people that will be rightly guided. We'll continue from here.